Whoa, thanks. How are you folks doing today? Fine, I hope. Guys, you folks want to come see a really cool demonstration? Great, you can't hide in the shade over there. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to Fort George. This is just a brief 10-minute demonstration on military music and how it fits in with the day of a soldier. What you see before you is a selection of some of the senior fifes and drummers from the 41st Regiment of Foot, Fifer Drum Corps, stationed here at Fort George during the War of 1812. There were 4 companies of 41st, so you would have seen something similar to this number. Now, we're British troops who wear a white tunic. Now, I know that's confusing all of you, because it sure confuses me. The gentlemen walking around in red tunics are the 41st Infantry. Now, fifers and drummers, you want to be able to find them quickly on the battlefield. So you reverse the coat colors of your regiment. So say you were the 49th Regiment and your infantry has a red coat with green cuffs and collars. Your drummers then are going to be wearing a green coat with red cuffs and collars. But the 41st is a bad example because our cuffs and collars are red on a red tunic. So if you reverse that, you're going to get the same thing. So we adopted a white coat and had all kinds of fancy lace put on it. Now, your Fife and Drum Corps does all the duty calls for the day, telling the soldiers exactly what's going on and exactly where they need to be. So does anyone have a guess as to what the first duty call of the day might be at a fort like this? Anyone?
The Reveille.
Very good, young lady. It's the Reveille. You've got to wake your soldiers up because you can't do anything with them while they're asleep. The regulation that was set by the Duke of Kent was 3:30 in the morning.
Yes.
But yes?
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I had a question. Was set by the Duke of Kent in England for 3:30. But around Upper Canada, you tended to see it being put to about an hour before sunrise, because that's the prime time to attack a fort. You play it right inside their barrack space, and it's really annoying. And you can imagine that fifes and drums were extremely popular with the rest of the soldiers. Fifes and drums. Attention! Drums, ready! Drums, beat! Ease. Stand easy. Yeah, I don't think soldiers would have clapped at 3:30 either. Alright. Now, your entire garrison's awake, and they've got to start getting ready for their day. All their belts have to be white, their boots have to be black, and every piece of brass on their uniform's got to be shiny. Especially at a place like Fort George. It is the headquarters for Upper Canada, so you've got a lot of high-ranking officers walking around. They like to see clean-looking soldiers. They then eat their breakfast, which is usually peas porridge or bread and milk. The Fife and Drum Corps then does a beating called the troop. So that's every soldier on site know that they've got roughly 15 minutes until the sergeant's going to be calling them out for their 6 hours of drill. Now, a British soldier is required to do a minimum of 6 hours of drill each day on a parade square, much similar to this. And if you're not very good at your drill, they keep giving you more of it. So you could be going to 8 hours a day if you're not a very good soldier. Fifes and drums. Attention! Drums, ready! Drums, beat! out, they play a call called the Roast Beef of Old England. Now we find it kind of ironic because we don't think soldiers ever saw roast beef, but it's the song that was chosen, and it's probably one of the happiest calls of the day. Fifes and drums. Attention! Drums. Ready! Drums. Beat! Rest. Then at ease. Then easy. Now, the soldiers are going to finish up any extra drill that they might have. And that usually takes them till about 5 o'clock. They're then given free time. Possibly, if a soldier had a skill before he entered the British Army, he might use that to try and get some extra money. But inevitably, later in the evening, they're all going to head down to the taverns in Nag-on-the-Lake. The town was known as an evil place to be. Prostitution and things like that were all over. The British Army is a large customer for the 12 taverns on the main street. Now, it's not against the rules to be drunk in the British Army, only until the point when you can't do any more of your drill or your duties, and then you're in big trouble. But that doesn't stop you from going down and having a couple rounds. But they still devised a method to get the soldiers back for the evening. So, has anyone heard of a Scottish tattoo? Well, I know you have. Anyone else? No? Well, you know, pipe bands in England, it's really big down there. Pipe bands, royalty maybe, pomp and circumstance, all that type of stuff. Well, in 1812, the tattoo ceremony comes from a Dutch word. It means to turn the taps off. By playing it, it lets all the tavern keepers know to stop serving the alcohol to the soldiers, start kicking them out of the taverns. The sergeant then rounds them all up and they march back to the fort en masse. So we'll play one song from the Tap 2 called the Bashing of the Maiden of 15. Fifes and drums. Attention! Drums. Ready! Drums. Beat! Ease. Rest easy. Much appreciated. Now, you've got all your drunken soldiers back into the fort. Put them in the barracks. You lock the door. You put a sentry outside, just in case they decide to try to escape to the American side in the middle of the night. And then your fifers and drummers play the last song of the day, called "The Retreat." Basically, lets everyone know that the site's shut down for the evening. The password at the gate has changed. The guards who are on duty for the last 24 hours get relieved by the new guards coming out. So if you're a soldier who didn't make it back when the Tap 2 was played, this is your last chance to get inside the fort before you become a deserter, once the gate is closed and the password is changed. Desertion is a crime which is punishable by death. So it's in your best interests to come running when you hear this song. Fifes and drums. Attention! Drums. Ready! Drums. Beat! ease. Rest easy. Now those, the calls that we just finished playing, those are typical for an encampment or a fort. On the battlefield, fifes and drums had a different set of duty calls that they would use to tell the soldiers to advance, retire, prepare to fire, cease fire, all those types of things. Now if we can have drummer Stokes and drummer Demler come to attention, and they're going to play prepare to fire and cease fire to give you an example of battlefield calls. Drums ready? Beat. Now they're going to do the ceasefire. Beat. Rest. Stand at ease. Now there's one more instrument left in the fife and drum corps, and I get to do this because every day our light infantry bugler begs me if he can come out and do some playing for you guys. It's an instrument that was used by light infantry, cavalry, and artillery. Because carrying a 16x16 snare drum around while you're riding a horse or running through dense forest is really difficult and awkward. So they picked the bugle. As well, it's got a different sound to it. So if your light infantry is screening in front of your regiment and the officer hears a bugler say, "Beat the retreat," and starts playing the retreat, and he knows that it's not safe to keep going forward because something's scared his light infantry away. So we can have our light infantry bugler come to attention. And he's going to play the advance and the retreat. In your own time.
The advance and retreat.
The advance and retreat, yes. That's what I said.
But, I think there's something in the bugle.
There's something in the bugle, that's the problem, yes.
Yeah, I think it's clear.
Now he's going to play the retreat. Yay! He's having a bit of trouble. Okay. It's difficult to play an instrument like that. It's valveless, so all the notes are he's making by moving his lips around. So. Really good. Now that concludes my part of the demonstration. Does anybody have any questions about fifing and drumming or Fort George? How to do those new tax forms? Out of those. Anything? Yeah?
Over the hills and far away?
Mr. Dale again, would you like to do that one?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. On your own time.
Do you remember which note?
I believe it starts on an A. There you go.
There, I tried.
Give a round of applause for our dancing fool, Alex Dale. Anything else? All right, well, I'm going to dismiss these guys. Thanks a lot for coming out and listening to me talk, and I hope you have a good day at the fort. If you got any questions, I'm going to stick around afterwards. But other than that, have a great day.
Thank you.
Fifes and drums. Hot then. Shut. To the right. Face.
1, 2.
One step forward to disperse. March. Good demo, man. What did you think? Oh, is it good or not?